help you?
Hey, it's Sue Kalberg calling. I was just wondering if Kristen could give us an answer about when we might be streaming.
No, Kristen. Sue wants to know.
Hey Sue, it's Kristen.
Are we going to launch a stream? Because I was just going to read this press release because it's so whack and talk about what we see.
We're live.
We are live right now?
Live. Yeah, sorry,
awesome.
Sorry. Yeah, I thought word had gotten to you. Okay.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so Ken's Five family, they just let us know that we are live on scene here. So let me go over to the news release and read you the details of what has been going on here, because it has been an all-day ordeal. The neighbors say this all started about 4:30 in the morning, and the details are crazy to believe. I'm going to get out of the way, and Jean's going to give you just a little video of what we're looking at here. We are in far north San Antonio, and where federal agents have been all day. ATF was the lead agency here, and they arrested somebody here in the Canyon Ranch subdivision. We're north of Borgfeld Road, and we're west of 281. So what you're looking at is this home that they targeted. They got a warrant, a search warrant, and an arrest warrant here in this gated community. And you see that big pile of sand in the driveway? The neighbors told us that earlier, when this big pile of sand was delivered, they said that they could see the agents filling sandbags because they were going to detonate explosives. And then sure enough, around 2:50 this afternoon, we heard one boom and then another boom, and then some small cloud of smoke, not a lot, light colored smoke filled the air. And you can see the windows in the front of the house are not blown out, but they did leave them open, I guess, as a result of the explosion. You can see that the garage door is blown off its hinges, and the sheetrock is damaged, and there's debris all over the driveway where this explosion happened, where I guess they gained access to the house. And I'm just going to share with you this release that we just got from the Department of Justice, because the details are quite interesting. It says a San Antonio felon was arrested today in San Antonio on criminal charges related to his alleged possession of firearms and explosives. According to court documents, Dustin, with a D, Dustin J. Ammons, was identified as an individual who placed pipe bombs on the external ATMs of two San Antonio banks. That was back on September 12th and September 26th. And oddly enough, I was there on September 26th. I covered that story. Gene De La Cruz, he's here with me. He's the photog who got the tip, who heard it. He went there. We covered that story on September 26th. When an ATM outside a bank blew up over there at 281 near Jones Maltzberger. So it says here, quoting again from the news release, the suspect had attempted to breach the machines with the explosives, and a field analysis of white powder residue found in the area of the ATMs determined the presence, I'm not going to say the chemical, PETN. You can Google it if you want, PETN. It is a very powerful explosive. It does the job. So today, December 12th, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives executed a search warrant here on Ammons' residence, assisted by lots of agencies. When I arrived here, I must have seen 15 or 20 apparatus from different agencies, but the FBI, the San Antonio Fire Department Arson Bureau, the San Antonio Police Department, the Bexar County Fire Department, Bexar County Sheriffs, Bexar County Fire Marshals, and Bexar County Emergency Management, and not to forget the guy from Public Works who came and delivered this big load of sand. But they say here, during the search, agents allegedly discovered a .40 caliber pistol in Ammons' closet. A criminal complaint filed this afternoon alleges the agents also found parts and components of a destructive device, specifically a pipe bomb, and inside the vehicle, which matched the description of the suspect's vehicle from the 2 September incidents where ATMs blew up. Additionally, it says the complaint alleges that Ammon had supplies consistent with making PETN, the high explosive substance, and other homemade explosives in his garage, including precursors and beakers. The complaint further alleges that agents discovered multiple suspected destructive devices in various stages of manufacture and a short-barreled 9mm rifle. Ammons was previously convicted for possession of a stolen firearm. He is now charged with 1 count of felon in possession of a firearm, as 1 count possession of an unregistered destructive device. If convicted of these charges, he faces up to 15 years in prison. A federal district court judge will determine any sentence after considering the U.S. sentencing guideline and other statutory factors. That is, of course, if he is convicted of these charges. This announcement comes from Justin Simmons for the Western District of Texas. That is our local federal office. It says here the ATF is investigating the case with assistance from the FBI and SAPD, and U.S. Assistant Attorney Sarah Wanarka is prosecuting the case. And then at the end, they close with what they always say: a criminal complaint is merely an allegation, and all defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. So much of what the neighbors said from the beginning is true. The neighbors, we just talked to a person who lives very nearby. He told us that he happened to be up this morning and that he woke up to the sound of flashbangs. And when he went outside to see what was going on, he found a huge law enforcement presence. He said that he walked outside to talk to the agents, and they identified themselves as ATF agents, and they said they were here to serve a warrant, and they suggested that he go back inside and take shelter inside. He said he did that. He said that he knows this man. He's known him for a while, that he's the kind of person that, they share tools back and forth. He's just a casual acquaintance. He didn't describe him as a friend or anything, just the guy next door that he could share tools with, but he's known for a long time. He said he was surprised by the allegation that his neighbor is accused of being the person who used explosive devices to attack ATMs at 2 different banks in the local area back in September. Now, of course, all of this happened starting at 4:30 in the morning, and so we don't know at what point. We don't know. The release doesn't say when they arrested him. It says they came here to get him, but it doesn't indicate what time. So we don't know if all of that happened at 4:30 in the morning or if they took him away from this scene as the day progressed. And we also don't know the procedure that they used, but ostensibly, if you were a thinking person, you would think that they had the search warrant for the house. They went into the garage. They knew that he was accused of blowing up ATMs at banks. They went into the garage and they knew what they were looking for. They had a warrant for explosive devices and chemicals and precursors and that kind of thing. And so, a thinking person would assume that once they got in the garage, they found what they were looking for, and then it appears as though they decided to detonate some of that material here on site rather than put everybody at risk by moving it or taking it off site somewhere to detonate it. So what we have here is a garage door that is blown apart, a driveway full of leftover debris from some explosive actions that were taken here today, the big sand pit that was a sand pile that was left behind when they were talking about needing sandbags or something, when they were talking about detonating things here, and a guy who will appear before a federal magistrate probably Monday morning. I don't believe the feds process people on the weekend, so Mr. Ammons is probably going to be in federal custody at least until Monday or Tuesday, when the federal government catches up with him. Now the neighbors they've cleared the street from about a 12-hour ordeal. This whole 300 block of this street had been closed down for almost 12 hours here in this gated community. It's a gate. You can't get in unless you know the gate code. The name of the street is actually Eugene Sasser. If you're a person who likes to look things up on the internet, that's the name of the street that we're in. Yeah, and let's just look at this. It's a neighborhood. It's a gated community. Big lots, nice houses, deer running loose here in the afternoon sun as the sun starts to go down here. on Eugene Sasser Street. It's a very lovely neighborhood. None of the neighbors really wanted to appear on camera, but many of them did talk with us since we've been here in their front yards for hours. And they said that, you know, because it's gated and because it's so far north, they never get any excitement here. But they did have some excitement today because this whole block, the whole 300 block essentially, was locked down because they had so many emergency vehicles, fire people, bomb people, trucks of all varieties. Now they have released the name of the guy, even though one would assume he has not been magistrated yet, unless they did it first thing this morning. I mean, I guess it's possible, because if they grabbed him up early, they could have just run him right down to the federal courthouse. He could have seen a judge like right away, I guess. So they have released his name. So I'm going to just repeat: Dustin with a D, J Ammons, and so we know that he is facing a number of serious felony charges, and he is a felon. He has convictions in the past for felon in possession of weapons. And so it says he is charged, so I guess he has seen the judge. He's now charged with 1 count of felon in possession of a firearm, as well as 1 count of possession of an unregistered destructive device. So those are his new charges, in addition to anything that he may have had pending in the past. So we have some video that we're going to run hopefully at 5 o'clock. We were actually rolling when the 2 little explosions took place. Now, they had us down the block and around the corner, so we didn't actually see the explosions. We heard them, we were rolling. We have the little boom boom action that we hope to be able to play at 5 o'clock. So that is what we know so far. And so we're gonna have a little more at 5 o'clock. We'll have that video. And we actually went up there in the driveway and we shot video a little closer. So we'll have, as the news day progresses, we're going to probably hand this off to a night side reporter who can continue to fill in the rest of the blanks and give you more information about the charges that led to this with the explosions at the ATMs, especially the one I covered back in September, which was at the corner of 281 and Maltzberger Road. There, it's right there in the shadow of where Wurzbach Parkway crosses over 281, and it was an early morning thing. And at the time, they said that somebody came up in the nighttime hours and blew up the ATM machine. But at the time, I don't believe they penetrated the canister. I don't believe they got money. But I've been out here. And I haven't been able to look back at my notes. So there's all kinds of things that we would like to know that we're going to have to do a little more research before we can get back with you on that one. But in the meantime, just know that it has been an odd day here in this neighborhood in the Canyon Ranch subdivision off Borgfeld and 281 on Eugene Sasser Street, with one of their neighbors flashbanged, arrested, taken into federal custody, now facing federal charges for these very serious
so I'm
incidents.
Have to interrupt. I need to feed the booms because I can't find them in the feed.
So we're gonna take the feed down. Web team, I hope you're listening. We are gonna go ahead and take the feed down so that we can feed back the video of the booms that we shot at 2:50 this afternoon. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take the feed down so that we can affect this feed, and we will be back up with you shortly on the 5 o'clock news. We will be live at 5, so stay with us across our platforms. Sue Kalberg,